Hi, everybody. This is Paul Hitchcock, founder and president of Giant Jacks Media, and this is Giant TV, where I get to talk with some very interesting entrepreneurs along the way, and certainly Karene is one of them. She's a Vistage Chair, also an entrepreneur with Fit Hidden Figure, her company, which we're going to talk about here. Welcome, Karene.
Thank you for having me, Paul. It's great to see you again.
Yeah, so of course, you're my go-to for eating habits and my workout routine, and you've got all the answers. I love it. And so end of the year here, we're talking about, routines, health, fitness. I want to jump into it with you. What do we need to know?
All right. Well, I have a few things I could share with you. I have a wealth of knowledge. I'm going to share my screen over to you and tell you a little bit about why I'm passionate about health and fitness.
Yeah.
You notice that most of our conversations, we talk about health and fitness largely because, my mom passed away from breast cancer at 48. And when I was 35, the doctors found a lump in my breast. So at the time I was working for Fannie Mae. I had, at that point, worked for JP Morgan, the World Bank, and had 21 years of investment banking experience. And I left corporate America to go on this wild health and fitness journey because I was scared.
Yeah.
The last time someone in my family saw a lump in their breast, they were dead 2 years later. So in 2019, it was a New Year's, and I said I was over it. I was just like, in 2019, this is going to make a difference. So I started my fitness journey in January 2019. And by September of 2019, I was the Masters Bikini overall champion at a local competition we had here in Washington, D.C.
Yeah. Awesome. Bodybuilding, body sculpting. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. And then a few years later, in 2022, I got drafted in the Pro League of Bodybuilding, and I'm currently ranked 13th best over 40 bikini physique in the world. So it's been a wild ride over the last few years, and it's huge. Health and fitness is a huge part of me. I serve on a few boards. I'm a chair with Vistage,
Right.
and but all of what I do in health and fitness allows me to be able to show up the way I'm proud of in other areas of my life.
Yeah, well, you've obviously got a passion for it based on a very personal story, your own story. So, I hear that all the time when we talk. So I love it. I love it. Anxious to hear what we're going to get into today.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay.
Yeah.
The name of my practice is Fit Hidden Figure. It was named after the movie Hidden Figures. Did you see that movie? The one
I don't believe I have. No.
Yeah, it's the one with a black female mathematician that was able to calculate within seconds of when they would make it to the moon. Um,
Oh,
and the main character was a black female mathematician. And when the movie talked about her childhood, it reminded me a lot of my childhood because I am very passionate about mathematics. So
hmm.
I named the business Fit Hidden Figure. The movie's name is Hidden Figure, and I named the business Fit Hidden Figure after the movie. Then in 2020, we were approached by Carla Hall. She's America's top chef in 2019. And she came to me and said, I just want you to know, I have a great figure. It's just hidden right now under a few layers of fat. And that's why I'm coming to Fit Hidden Figure.
A lot of us can say that. A lot of us can say that.
But it had me thinking that, we all have hidden figures, right? It's just covered with a few layers of fat. And that's what we're good at. We're just good at reducing body fat on the physiques so
Yep.
that we can reveal your hidden figure.
Love
So,
it.
so today I have a few things I want to share with you, Paul. We're going to talk about nutrition, right? Which you and I have spoken about extensively. You know how I feel about protein, right?
Right. Right.
Strength training. You and I have spoken about strength training before. My thoughts on cardio, water, sleep, supplements, DEXA scans, home gym essentials. I know you go to a gym, but I started my fitness journey at home. As a matter of fact, my first major competition, the entire preparation was done in an in-home gym.
Wow. Impressive.
Yeah, the reason for it is this is that by the time you get dressed, jump in a car, park a car, get into the locker room, and get ready for your workout, you could be 45 minutes into your workout session if you just rolled out of bed and went into the next room uh,
True.
to get a workout in.
Of
So
course, brings a lot of questions about what equipment do you need at home to get this done, because you obviously got to have stuff.
exactly. And it's a big question. A lot of people think you need a whole bunch of fancy equipment to actually lose body fat, but really you just need one cardio equipment, whether it's I like the Peloton bike or a treadmill, and just a handful of weights.
Hmm.
That's what's needed. So we've transformed many physiques with just that, right?
Yeah.
Commercial gyms, make you feel like you need a whole lot of equipment to
Right.
get real gains. And the truth is, I did not have to go to a commercial gym until I got drafted in the pro league of bodybuilding and was competing against other pros, right? But in the beginning stages, and also when you are not as confident in your fitness journey, it can be very difficult to show up at the gym. Other people can see what you're doing and that kind of thing. So when people have the privacy of their homes, it's a lot more comfortable for them to get creative, try new things, push themselves harder, and that kind of thing.
Well,
Um,
well said. Yeah. Good point.
yeah, yeah. And we're going to talk about systems and processes. So it's not, I can tell you what to eat, how to train, but how it actually gets done and fit into your daily life, right? It's you got to figure out a systems and process for that.
Right. Right.
So what do I mean by that? So who is going to the grocery store? Who is cooking these whole foods? How are you going to measure out these foods so that you're having the right caloric intake? Um, I personally don't have time to do all of that. So I have a meal prep company shipping all my meals to me, right? And that is how I can stay on top of being a chair with Vistage, running Fit Hidden Figure and staying on top of my physique goals at the same time, right?
Hmm.
And then we're going to go through some testimonials.
Okay.
So how about we jump right in? Ready?
Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. Anxious to see it.
All right. So this is a little bit about nutrition. We track all our meals in MyFitnessPal. Business owners understand the importance of bookkeeping, right? But when it comes down to eating, we need bookkeeping for that too, right?
Right. And that's an app. MyFitnessPal's the app.
MyFitnessPal is an app, right? It's a free app that we have all of our clients use. I use it all the time. And, Paul, it's an interesting note. Even though I am a health and fitness coach, I still have a coach, right?
Of
And
course.
my coach is staying on top of me by me logging my foods in MyFitnessPal as well, right?
Hmm.
So it's a universal tool that can be very helpful. Um, we keep sodium under 2,000 milligrams. We keep sugar under 30 grams. So yes, we'll have fruits, but no added sugar. We eat smaller meals more frequently. And the reason for that is each time you eat a meal, you boost your metabolism, especially if the meal is high in protein, because your body burns protein calories. It takes a lot of calories to actually break down protein. So if you feed yourself protein multiple times a day, the amount of total calories burned on the day is greater by just, including more protein and the frequency of protein,
And to
right?
keep sodium under 200 milligrams, that's per meal per day?
Per day, the entire day.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We weigh all our food in grams. So we use a digital scale to weigh out all our foods. We're balanced approach to carbs. So this is not, Atkins. Remember when the Atkins diet, keto diet, and all those things
Oh
were,
yeah.
really big. So we have a healthy approach to carbs, meaning that it's not a low carb, no carb diet. It's more of being sophisticated about the time of day that we have carbs and in what proportion, right?
Yeah.
And so we center carbs right around your most active times of the day, right? And we just, make sure to keep carbs in a place that will give you the energy to get the workouts done, right? We limit fats to 20 to 25% of calories. And we like to say you can't outrate a bad diet.
No,
So,
and you've said this to me before that like a flat belly starts in the kitchen is
yes,
what you said. And it's funny because at the gym I see like people swimming at the pool over and over and over, and they're in the same shape like year after year. And I'm thinking to myself, they're not making it happen in the kitchen, and they're trying to swim to get in shape. It ain't happening because they're eating like crap.
yes. So the exact words I used to use was abs are made in the kitchen.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
So, a lot of people think that they have to do tons of crunches to see visible abs. And what is really needed is to lower your fat intake, right? Enough for a long enough period so that you can see visible lines in your abs. One of the things, how in finance, people underestimate how much they will make and they underestimate how much they're spending and
Right.
overestimate how much they'll make long term, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how, financial strain exists. Well, it's the same thing with fitness. People underestimate how much fat they're intaking and overestimate how much fat they're burning, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If they log their food in MyFitnessPal, they will get clearer as to their fat intake, right? So that they have a closer look at whether or not they have a greater propensity to reach their goal.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, yeah. So all this talk about nutrition, let me show you the actual results. So the picture of me on the left was me in investment banking when they first discovered the lump in my breast. And the picture on the right was the year I got drafted in the Pro League of Bodybuilding, right? If you notice my frame, I'm actually weighing the same in both pictures.
Oh,
Difference, yes. The difference is a 25-pound of fat loss and a 25-pound of muscle gain. So a complete, what you call body recomposition is taking place. If
what's
you
the time period there between first photo and second photo?
the time period is about 3 years.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because the 25-pound fat loss, that can happen in 6 months, but the 25-pound muscle gain, takes years to build, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
if you notice in my frame though, before I had more of a straight up and down versus the after picture, I have more curves to the front.
Yeah. Yeah.
That so you ever see Weight Watchers, when you look at the before and the after picture, their before picture, they're just a smaller version of their bigger self. They have
Mm-hmm.
the same shape, just smaller.
Yeah.
That's what weight loss programs will do. A
Oh,
fat loss program actually changes the shape of your physique, right?
interesting. Yeah.
So you go from a straight structure to more of a curvier structure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Only way to achieve that is for the body fat in the abs to be lowered at a faster rate than the body fat in the rest of your body. That's how you experience that X factor. And that's how nutrition comes into play. That's how the high protein comes into play with the muscle building. And so that is why when you and I get on the call, that's why I keep saying, have your protein, and stay away from high, protein sources that are high in fat. It's 3 years of having those type of skills in mind that causes a transformation like this.
I gotta ask you, peanut butter. I just quick question. It's always in mind. Is peanut butter healthy? Peanut butter okay? Right? Good.
Peanut butter is healthy if you're trying to maintain the body fat on your frame, right?
Yeah.
So salmon is healthy, peanut butter is healthy, avocado is healthy, but they're all high in fat. And it's not something you eat if fat loss is your goal.
Got it. Okay.
right?
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I'm in a process right now. I competed in September, and I'm in the process of purposely gaining body fat so that I can have children, right? Because if a woman is too lean, you cannot have kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to put on the body fat, I do eat peanut butter, I do eat salmon and avocado to literally double the amount of fat I have on my frame, you know?
Mm.
So that's a healthy way of putting fats on, okay? But it's a fat gaining tool. Is that
Got
make
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then to the right is the actual DEXA scans, right? So the DEXA scan, the area in blue is muscle, the area in red is fat. So
Hmm.
you can see the difference in the fat mass converting to muscle on the DEXA scan as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So here's a transformation of my husband.
Wow. That's huge.
Yeah, but this only happened in 16 weeks.
Damn. Wow. Really?
16 weeks, 16-week transformation. Now, men transform a whole lot faster than women because men have testosterone, right? Which is a very powerful hormone that men are born with. Now, we do have situations where when a man gets to a certain age, they are not naturally producing as much testosterone, right? Where they have to go to a wellness clinic to handle that kind of thing. But on a healthy male, with appropriate testosterone levels, you can get a 16-week transformation. It looks like this.
16 weeks, 4 months. That's insane right there.
Yeah, this is 34 pounds of fat loss and 10 pounds of muscle gain in 16 weeks. And
God.
you can see the DEXA scan next to it, where the
Yeah.
fat is almost all gone, right? Yeah, we have actual scientific data to prove that he lost 34 pounds of fat and gained 10 pounds of muscle in that 16-week
Yeah,
period.
it's funny too, because when you lose that weight, you look as good as your husband, you get a new hairstyle also to go along with it, right? So he's got a much nicer hairstyle.
Oh my goodness, Paul. This is just a side story. I went to my hairstylist, right? And I said, this guy, he's interested in me, right? And he wants to marry me one day, okay? And I'm gonna work on his physique, because what he has is not working for me right now. So can you help the sister out? I'll work on his physique. And I looked up white male actors, okay? And I say, give him this haircut. And she made it happen.
Oh, she did a good job. He looks totally different. It's good.
Totally different. All right, so what's the science behind this? Let's get into it, right?
Hmm.
So we wear a heart rate monitor called Polar. It's a Polar H10 heart rate monitor worn around the chest, right? It is $85 on Amazon, easy to get. All our clients use it. I use it in every training session that I do. And why do I use this heart rate monitor? If you notice, even in the picture, I have a Fitbit on. I love my Fitbit, right?
Right.
But Fitbit and Apple Watches do not track heart rates accurately, right? It's worn on the wrist. What they're good at is tracking things like steps and sleep and that type of thing. That's what I use, the Fitbit for.
Yeah.
In terms of true accuracy of your heart rate, you only can get true accuracy by wearing a heart rate monitor around the chest, right? So if you look at both graphs, you see that the shape of the graphs are different.
Yep.
If you notice on the strength training, you notice that the graph is going up and down. And then overall on the indoor cycling, the graph goes straight across.
Yeah.
So I can look directly on the graph and tell what kind of activity what was done. So imagine you are doing a deadlift, right? And you're on the 10th rep, right? Your heart rate will be elevated at the end of the 10th rep, right?
Mm. Mm.
You put the weight down to recover,
Yeah.
okay? And most trainers will guess, okay, let's wait 60 to 90 seconds before going into the next set, right?
Hmm.
We're not guessing. We're using the heart rate monitor to determine when it's time to go into the next set, right?
Oh.
So when the heart rate gets to the gray zone, right, it's time to get into the next set. So that is our way of keeping our clients on a intense enough strength training to actually have muscle building happen, right?
Huh. Yeah.
So that's strength training. When it comes on to cardio, what a lot of people don't understand is they feel that when they go on a treadmill or an elliptical or a bike, that they have to go as hard as possible to lose body fat. And that's just not the case. If your heart rate is too high, you're burning muscle and you're burning carbs. You're no longer burning fat, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So you have to know what the optimal heart rate you have to achieve to optimally burn fat over a consistent period of time, right? So when we work with a client, we say, okay, wear the heart rate monitor, increase your heart rate up to X, just stay there for 40 minutes, right? And that is how we're sure the entire 40 minutes they were actually burning fat
Oh, interesting.
during
Okay.
cardio, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so this is actually going into cardio with a true strategy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not just going on the cardio machine for just cardio's sake, right?
Right. Right.
And that is why we can get results like this in 16 weeks. It's
Mm-hmm.
like staying in a fat burning zone 6 days a week for 6 weeks will give you results like this.
So that's a combination of cardio, weights, of course, and eating right.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. So
Okay.
this is a little bit about strength training. That we offer strength training services where we can actually see the person doing the strength training and the heart rate report at the same time. So we do our virtual training. This is a little bit about cardio, but let's get to the good stuff in terms of the actual transformations that we've been seeing. So this is a woman who came to us at 59 and a half to say, look, I'm sorry. I pulled up, I'm trying to pull up her DEXA scan. 1 second.
That means she was 59 and a half years old, is what you're saying?
59 and a half years old, yes. And she said to me, I'm gonna be 60 in 6 months, and I want to get in shape. I want to be fit by 60. She said her mom passed away before she got to see 60. And she not only want to live to see 60, but she wants to be in the best shape of her life at 60. So that was a goal. She's just like, can you make me fit by 60? That's it. 26 weeks. That's all you got.
And what did you do? So you just changed her diet and obviously the exercise? Or what, you know?
Nutrition and training with a heart rate report, with a heart rate monitor and DEXA scans. So first thing I did was send her to get a DEXA scan to see, okay, how much body fat are we talking about here? The body fat in her abs was 40 something percent, right? By the time we were done with her, the body fat in her abs was 16%, right?
Wow.
So the first thing we do is get a DEXA scan, let the DEXA scan tell us how to feed her and how to train her, right? She follows the program, and then she was losing on average about 45 pounds of body fat a month. And then the next,
Wow.
over 6 months, she has an incredible amount of fat loss.
Can you cheat at all with nutrition when you're doing on a program like this? Like, can you have a cheeseburger once in a while, or is it just hardcore every single day?
This is, everyone in my program gets a cheat meal once a week.
Once a week, a cheat meal. And for that cheat meal, can you eat anything you want?
Yes, just stay away from the sugars because the glucose level can mess up the actual fat loss system that we have in place, right? So they can have a cheeseburger, but I try to say, stay away from the sweets, have the burger. The burger is high in fats, it's high in carbs, and then for that day, and it's not a cheat day now, it's a cheat meal, which means
Oh,
that for the rest of the day, you're following a meal plan and you're just having one burger. You decide that, oh, it's date night with my husband or date night with my wife. I'm going to go and have a cheat meal, or it's so and so's birthday party. I'm going to have a cheat meal on this particular, usually centered around a special occasion.
So, okay, one meal a week, you can cheat. Is alcohol have to be taken off the table 100%?
Off the table. Alcohol is off the table. No, no, no.
So you can't have it all for that entire period, no alcohol.
Not for results like this.
Uh,
I will tell you, I personally don't drink on a regular basis. Now, when I was getting married, did I have a drink at my wedding? Yes, right. But I had to be prepared that when I go back to my DEXA scan, my fat mass is going to go up and my muscle mass is going to go down, right? I got to be prepared for it. It's just a reality.
but I hear mixed things about that. I hear red wine is healthy for you. A glass of red wine a day is healthy for you. No?
That's a thing. People get confused between healthy, right? What foods are healthy and what foods causes body transformation. Healthy
Okay.
foods and body transformation foods are two completely different things. There are many people out there that eat healthy foods, right? That have a higher proportion of body fat on their frame and they eat healthy foods, right? Because healthy foods and body recomposition foods are two different entities.
Okay. Okay.
Wine, if you keep drinking wine on a daily basis, right, you're not going to experience fat loss in any reasonable amount of time. Now, in terms of other health benefits, could there be? Sure, but I'm a body recomposition specialist, right?
Yeah.
And wine is not going to take you there to your goals, when it comes on to actual physique transformation.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And it's these types of understanding the distinguish between body transformation foods and healthy foods that causes people to stay in the same physique for so long, right? Is that they go online and they get a list of healthy foods, right? And they follow the healthy foods. I'm telling you, if you're eating whole eggs every day, salmon every day, avocado every day with multiple meals, you're not going to have fat loss. It's just too much fat in those meals, right? Are
Right.
they healthy meals? Sure. I eat them to gain body fat, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If I'm trying to gain body fat, can I drink a glass of wine? Sure. And I can do it in a healthy manner, right? But it's all about eating for your goals. It's specific about what your goals. There are many people who are too lean, that they're not comfortable being so lean, right? So they eat healthy foods to put on body fat, right? It's all based on your goals.
Yeah. So if you're okay. All right. All right. I'm
All
with
right.
you.
So here I was going to show you the DEXA scan data. Hold on. Here is a DEXA scan report. Let me just highlight something to you here. You see how the DEXA scan tells you arms, body fat in your arms, legs, trunk. Android is a scientific word for abs, right?
Mm.
She lost 30.5% in her arms, 8.7% in her legs, but look how much she lost in her abs.
Okay.
24.6%. So she's losing at a rate 2 to 3 times greater than the rest of her body in her abs. And that's when I say nutrition, abs are made in the kitchen. So when she started, the body fat in her abs was 41.5%. By the time she was done, it was 16.9%.
What was she eating? Just quick, you know, uh, quick alert on her foods. What was she eating?
She was eating what a reasonable American would consider healthy foods, right? She was eating, salmons. She was eating avocado. A lot of it because those things were labeled as healthy foods. She was going to a trainer. She had a trainer. She was working with a trainer on a regular basis, and she came to me because she goes, "I'm spending all this money on a trainer, but I'm not seeing any results."
So what
Right?
the food changed to what? What did she eat with your program kind of stuff?
So instead of salmon, she's having tilapia. Instead of, she's having chicken breast, turkey breast. shrimp, all high protein foods that are low in fat. You know, carbs, we're talking sweet potato, rice, right? For breakfast, we're talking oatmeal, all without sugar, no added sugar, right?
Right.
Her nutrition had a lot of sugars in it as well. Just what a typical 59-and-a-half-year-old
Yeah.
American woman who considered herself eating healthy is what she was doing. And she even, as she was meeting with a trainer 3 days a week,
Mm.
right? And getting no results,
Getting the
right?
results. Yeah. Interesting.
So when I said that what you're looking at was 41.5% body fat in the abs, transformed to 16.9% body fat in the abs, that's this picture. That's
Okay.
what it looks like visually. All right. Okay, so here's some other transformations. This man lost 10 inches in his waist in 12 weeks.
Mm.
He was 55 years old. This is his wife, who is America's Top Chef in 2019, Carla Hall. We helped her get six-pack abs. Now she's a face of Tono, right? So she has allowed her transformation to work for her in her career. Here's a other transformation. This woman,
Wow.
the woman in pink, her after picture was her 1 month pregnant. Like, we also learned that there are fertility implications among having too much fat on your frame as well, right? So, you know, when she came to me, she goes, I am pregnant. I'm like, that was not on the meal plan. How did you get pregnant? And she said that she had been dealing with fertility issues. You know, she was only in her 20s and she had been dealing with fertility issues. And the doctor told her she could never have children. And when she was able to get the body fat down, she was able to have her child. The woman in black, if you notice, she has a white patch on her shoulder. She came to us because she was diagnosed with diabetes. And
Mm.
this was where she was getting her insulin, right? So if you notice, she got a significant amount of body fat off her frame, but she was able to get off of insulin in the process because
Wow.
of the nature of the nutrition that she was having.
That's great. Yeah.
Here's another woman, 55 years old. She came to us because her son had a stroke at 30, and she felt that she did not give her son a good example of nutrition and training. And she came to us to learn about nutrition and training so she could provide a legacy for her son and get him off his feet.
Yeah.
And she's now in the best shape of her life, and her son is back on track. And this transformation was 4 years ago, and they're all doing well right now.
Well, that's awesome.
Yep, and the woman in the yellow bikini, if you see, she had visible lines in her abs. This was a 12-week transformation. She's now a competitor, right?
Wow.
I met her in the middle of the pandemic. Do you remember when gyms were closed, and
Oh, yeah.
if you wanted to buy a pair of dumbbells, it was astronomical. Everybody
Couldn't
was,
find them. Yeah, they were sold
yeah,
out everywhere
sold
too.
out everywhere. So what we did was use different items in her house as her household items. We put water in them and turned them into weights, right?
Really?
And this entire transformation was done with household items, from wine bottles to detergent bottles to sandbags, you name it.
That's crazy.
And that's what we use to do her transformation. I tease her because she's from Nigeria and I'm from Jamaica, and we went all the way third world on this transformation because we had to.
Oh my God. What was the time period there, start to finish with
12
her?
weeks, 12 weeks,
That's amazing. That's amazing.
12
Yeah, I mean,
weeks.
that's a huge difference. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now she is now a certified health coach. Her life changed
Yeah.
completely after this transformation. And then here is some pictures of the guys. This is more of a 16-week transformation, significant amount of fat loss and muscle building during that time. So
Mm-hmm.
some of the fun work I have been working on, Paul,
It's great. Yeah.
I know you and I have little small talk about nutrition and training here and there, but I've never taken you under the hood to see exactly what I've been up to.
No, it's yeah, I mean it's incredible. And I know you and I, through our discussions, you said something that hit home from with me before, is that that journey of the transformation is, it's got to be just something that's routine in your life, that you just get up and you do it. There's no thought to it. You weave it into the fabric of your daily life. And when you start doing that, then you can accomplish it, and it just becomes almost robotic. You're just doing that for the day. And as opposed to trying to do something quick, and start and stop, and not having the mindset of, this is just a lifestyle thing. I'm just going to live my life this way. To me, that's when something real happens.
Well, and I'll take it a step further, right? Because can be like huge to just say, okay, I'm just going to change my life, right?
Yeah.
People need is a small bite size of changing my life, right? So even when I first got into health and fitness, I had signed up for a 90-day commitment, right? That I went to a coach and I'm like, I'm gonna try you out for 90 days. You tell me what to eat, what to do. And that was a kickstart of my fat loss journey, right?
Yeah.
And so even with my business, I have a fat loss challenge that starts on January 1st, 2024, right? Where for 90 days, I tell you what to eat, how to train, and I check in with you every single day for 90 days, right? And I beat it into you for 90 days, exactly how to eat and how to train for 90 days. After those 90 days, you've been repeating it these entire days 90 times, right?
Yeah.
After 90 days, now it becomes a part of you. But you need that accountability and somebody to hold your hand to kind of go on that journey with you, because you can't I can talk to somebody till they're blue in the face, eat this, drink this, train this, but they have to get a small bite of information, go run with it, get my feedback, get another small bite of information, go run with it, get my feedback. That is how realistically it's going to turn into a lifestyle, because health and fitness, there's so many things to
Yeah.
learn.
A lot of noise out there.
A lot of noise out there, but it's so many things you got to be mindful of to get that level of success, that it needs to be reiterated, taught, practice, feedback, teach again, practice, feedback,
Yeah.
over and over again until it becomes a lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. No, well said. Well said. But, and is it, you told me before, 3 days a week you got to work out, but when you're doing a transformation, is it still 3 days a week workout, or is it 6 days a week?
So it's 6 days a week. So what I told you was 3 days a week of strength training, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have our clients doing 3 weeks, 3 times a week of strength training, but the other 3 days of the week they're doing cardio. I
Cardio. Okay.
Yeah, I personally didn't recommend cardio for you because you're trying to build a muscle, right? You don't have a whole lot of fat to lose, right?
Right. Right.
But somebody that fat loss is a huge part of what they're trying to do. They're like 1 day cardio, 1 day strength training, 1 day cardio, 1 day strength training, 1 day, and they go back and forth between strength training and cardio for 6 days a week. Then on
Yeah.
the seventh day, we do a recovery training, mobility training, yoga, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then so somebody gets in your program and they, yeah, they sign up and it's hardcore and they're doing it.
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
it. Love it. Love
We
it.
the woman that won the last fat loss challenge, she just texted me to say that, now she was wearing a size 12, now she's fitting in a size 6.
Whoa. Whoa.
She's getting rid of all that clothes that she had before because she's just committed to not going back to that weight again. My husband, when he goes to the grocery store, when he walks on the street, people just receive him completely differently. Because remember, he was 300 pounds before. Now he's this bodybuilding guy, 12% body fat. And the way they treat him on the street, going to the grocery store, even career,
Yeah. Yeah.
people people will receive you and listen to what you say if you take good care of your physique, right? It happens in pay, you know, the Bureau of Labor and Statistics said that, people who are overweight are more likely not to get paid for the same amount of work than somebody who is relatively in shape, right?
It's true. It's all connected because when you're in shape and you're, doing that, your mindset changes and you become more positive about yourself, which to me translates into more success in a lot of areas of your life.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
And this is one of the things, the Bureau of Labor and Statistics published the data, and it said no matter what your race is, you will experience this, right? But minorities, for example, experience a wider gap, right?
Yeah.
So here it is that, no matter who you are, if you're not thinking about health and fitness going into 2024, super important, either keeping as healthy as you can or getting on some kind of program to do something radically different in 2024 if they're stuck in that particular area.
Yeah, well, I've got to say as we wrap up here to everyone listening, get connected to Karene. Her information's around this video wherever you're watching it because we stream this everywhere, and follow her because it's going to be important, and I do, and I'm learning a ton. So thank you, Karene. Just incredible information.
Thank you. Well, thank you for having me, and it's good to see you again.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk soon.
Talk soon.